New Orleans is one of the nation's most popular places to ring in the new year. Its French Quarter often crowded with people and parade goers. In an instant overnight, sounds of celebration gave way to terrified screams. The roar of a truck and gunfire. Within minutes, at least 15 people were dead and around 35 others injured. Evan Rodriguez is in New Orleans, where the fast evolving facts in this case continue to unfold. And we do want to warn you, some viewers may find certain video graphic and disturbing.
Disturbing surveillance video showing the moment a white pickup truck turned onto Bourbon Street early Wednesday morning, moments before plowing into New Year's Eve partygoers.
Right now, Bourbon Street is an active crime scene.
Officials urged residents to avoid the area of Bourbon Street where crime scene units continue their work.
The bodies strewn, something you can't unsee, you'll never forget.
The screams, I mean, you can't think about, unhear that.
An earth cam in the French Quarter captured the moment overnight when officers raced toward the unspeakable act of violence.
After hitting the crowd, he exited the vehicle and fired upon local law enforcement. Law enforcement returned fire and the subject was pronounced deceased at the scene.
The FBI confirms that the deceased suspect is 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Texas who was also an Army veteran. Investigators say his rented Ford pickup had an ISIS flag and the suspect used the vehicle to plow through revelers on Canal and Bourbon Streets. The FBI says the attack appears to be an intentional act of terror.
We will be relentless and we will do everything that it takes to render real justice.
You will find out what happened and who was responsible, or I will raise fresh hell.
The FBI confirmed that improvised explosive devices were also found at the scene. In New Orleans, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
And as of this afternoon, New Orleans officials say mechanical barricades that had been installed around Bourbon Street weren't functioning and were being repaired ahead of the Super Bowl in February. They say other barriers were in place, but the driver drove onto the sidewalk to avoid them. And at last check, the 2 law enforcement officers who were injured during the gunfight with the suspect and transported to a local hospital were last reported in stable condition. The Sugar Bowl college football playoff quarterfinal between Notre Dame and Georgia was set to kick off at 8:45 p.m. local time there, but with all of the day's unfoldings, it was postponed until tomorrow.